Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is my Game Week 10 team selection video and I'm going to just get straight into it because I was so set on the moves that I was going to make and now I'm questioning everything. But the team is doing well so far. We have got another green arrow, so let's have a look at what we're currently dealing with and then I will talk through my potential transfer plans. So we've had another good week, which I am really pleased about. We got another green arrow, so now my overall rank is 380,358. I've got a total of 572 points and I got 91 game week points. So I was only 9 away from 100. I saw so many accounts on Twitter hit over 100 points, 107 points seemed quite common as well. I want to hit 100 points. That is the goal for the next couple of game weeks. And if maybe in 5 game weeks time I could get into the top 100k, I feel like that is very good progress, especially considering where we were from game week 2 onwards. It was red arrow after red arrow. Something has clicked and I think it's the wild card and long may it continue. I've got 2 free transfers to play around with and £101.7 million squad value and nothing in the bank. And for the transfers I want to make in the next couple of game weeks, I need to find some money from somewhere. So we will look at how my team got on in game week 9. Starting off in goal, we've got Turner. This was really disappointing. I thought Forest had Luton at home, clean sheet, absolutely guaranteed. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Forest were leading the way, 2-0 up, looked really strong. And then they conceded not 1, but 2 goals to Luton. So I was devastated about that. I was pleased for Luton because I don't think anyone really expected that from them. But obviously, FPL perspective, not great. Then coming into the defence, very mixed. We'll start off on a high. We've got Burn, clean sheet, 4-0 win to Newcastle. I'm glad I benched Gahey because there was a chance that I was going to play Gahey. Obviously, Palace have looked quite solid defensively. They had 3 clean sheets in a row until the Newcastle game when they just got absolutely thrashed. But the reason I decided to go for Burn over Gahey is Newcastle have scored the most goals as a team this season with 24 in total. And I just saw them definitely not blanking against Palace. So made the right decision there. This has really made me want to get Trippier, but he's so expensive. So it's going to take a couple of game weeks to bring him in, but that is the plan. Burn to Trippier at some point. I know Newcastle do have a bit of a fixture swing, but I feel like Trippier just hoovers up bonus points. He's going to get attacking returns, so we don't even have to care about clean sheets. So that's the plan going forward. Now, my midfield, we've got Maddison, Son, Salah and Gordon. The person I'm most excited about out of those 4 is Gordon. He came back from being suspended and he scored a goal. Lovely. We love to see it. I'm really pleased I brought him in my wild card, even though he was suspended at the time. I whacked him on the bench. I knew he was going to be good once he was starting again. And so far, so good. A great start to the team. Thank you, Gordon, for joining us. Salah. Oh, this is so unbelievably annoying that I didn't captain him. He got 2 goals and obviously got the 3 bonus points. Another game week of not captaining Salah. I think that's back-to-back braces he's had now. It's just, frustrating, but we move on. We can't dwell. Let's just be happy that he's in the team because before I wildcarded, there was no way I was going to be able to bring him in. If I hadn't have brought him in, I'd be absolutely kicking myself now at how well he's doing. So we're getting points from him. That's all that matters. The rank is good. Let's focus on the positive stuff. And then we've got Son. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist so far. 1 goal and 1 assist so far this season. He is on way more. 1 goal and 1 assist in that game and 3 bonus points. He also played 81 minutes, which is a massive improvement. And one of my concerns around Son was his fitness. He kept coming off early. The previous game he came off at 75 minutes. Before that was 68 minutes. And then before that it was 78 minutes. So he still hasn't gotten to the full 90. And it is concerning when you think about the added time now. You can get up to 10 minutes, or even more. Who knows what's going to go on in the next couple of games. But you could be missing out on about 30 minutes of time from Son. But it seems like his fitness is back on track. He's playing more. And then Maddison, such a lovely combination, aren't they? Maddison also scored. So that was very good from the midfield. Everyone got a return. This rarely happens. It was one of those game weeks where just everyone seemed to be performing really well. And then my front 3, there is no stopping Ollie Watkins. 1 goal and 1 assist, 11 points. He also got 2 bonus points. He's just, I knew he was a good asset. He was a great asset for me last season. I brought him into the team this season because I was expecting him to kind of tick along. But he is just on fire. It's crazy seeing so many people bring him into their teams now because it seems like he's unstoppable. Only blanked so far once this season. That was against Liverpool. Really glad that I had him and I managed to get in on him before he exploded in popularity. So long may it continue. Well done, Ollie Watkins. Then Solanke, the relief I had when he scored. Solanke and Gordon were my differentials and I was so pleased that both of them scored this game week. I found out about Solanke's goal. I'd just come off the tube. I was boiling. It was absolutely packed. I had Ralph with me. I had a big bag. I wasn't in a good mood. Checked flash score, Solanke goal. Suddenly, weight was lifted off my shoulders. I was so happy. So Solanke is bringing so much joy into people's lives. And then Haaland, let's be positive that he got a goal and 2 bonus points. Very good. And I need to remember, he's still the leading goal scorer so far this season with a total of 9 goals. And Salah is just behind him with 7. Haaland is still there. He is number 1 for the foreseeable, and I'm hoping that continues and I won't regret keeping Haaland for this long. I captained him. It's not the worst captaincy score, but when you look at the rest of the team, you've got Son, you've got Salah, you've got Watkins, could have made better decisions. But I didn't know. I really expected Brighton to be a lot poorer defensively, and I thought Haaland was going to be up there. I really saw him getting a hat-trick. So another captaincy decision that hasn't gone my way, but again, let's not dwell. At least he did get a goal in this game week. And then the bench, McGinn, I've done him a disservice because I've just realised I didn't even edit his total score this game week. How dare I? He got an assist. It was lovely to see. If you watch my live stream, you'll know that Az and I had a bet, and it was that Az thought that McGinn wasn't going to get any returns in the next couple of game weeks. I think it was the next 5 game weeks. Well, he's proven Az wrong and he got an assist, so that counts. We've both donated to charity. We've donated to Mind and also the MS Society. So McGinn is helping charities too, as well as assisting Villa with goals. I just love McGinn. But let's have a look at my planned transfers for the upcoming game week. How high tech we are now. We have little transitions. It still needs to get better, but you have to start from somewhere. Now, I've just hyped up Son and Maddison and saying they're such a nice duo. It reminds me of the Son and Kane days. Loved it. That was the peak, the highlight of my FPL career. But I am thinking of transferring out Son, and I will justify why. Now, there is no arguing he is such a great asset to have, and since he moved from a left winger to a centre forward, he's been amazing. He scored 7 goals in the past 6 game weeks, and it doesn't look, even though he hasn't been 100% fit, hopefully the fitness is rising and he's getting better. You just know that he's going to get a hat-trick at some point. Wouldn't be unusual for him to do a Salah and just get back-to-back braces, which scares me about taking him out. But I can't justify the price tag when I really need an Arsenal asset in my team, and I love having Saka in the team. I can save £1 million by doing Son to Saka. There is the argument that I could potentially do a bit more of a rejig. I've got 2 free transfers. I could take out Maddison. And yes, Son's underlying data is better than Maddison's, but the thing is with Maddison, I want to still have that Spurs attacker, but a cheaper version. So I need to come to a realisation or just be calm with the fact that Maddison won't be scoring as much as Son, but he will still be getting returns, hopefully a couple of assists here and there. Whereas Son, it's so much money to spend, and actually, if I do this transfer, Son to Saka, then I'll be able to make a transfer elsewhere, save some money, and then bring in Trippier. But I'm not really sure what the plan would be if I wanted Trippier and Son. It's really annoying. But if we look at Spurs' fixtures, they've got Palace away, Chelsea at home, Wolves away. Not a bad run. And again, the way that Spurs are going at the moment, I can see them winning every single one. But we compare that to Saka's, and Saka's got Sheffield United at home, which couldn't be a better fixture for him. Sheffield United at bottom of the league, so it's just the perfect opposition for Arsenal. Then they've got Newcastle away, a tricky one, but hopefully we can see Saka battling through Newcastle's defence. And then Burnley at home. I can't say no to those fixtures, and this is the only way I feel like I can actually get Saka in without having to rip up the rest of the team. Whilst I was concerned about Saka's fitness, obviously he was rested in the game against City. He's come back against Chelsea, he's played 90 minutes, he looks great, he managed to get an assist in that game as well. And my heart just is going with Saka. So it's a really reluctant transfer. And earlier this week, I did a video on my channel where I put together 2 wildcard drafts and one didn't have Haaland in. And the Haaland-less draft is ridiculous. I've got my dream midfield, which includes Son and Saka. And it's really made me consider going in without Haaland. But for now, it's too many transfers. And I think I need to just try and remain patient. But this is a reluctant transfer, so if you're going to comment saying keep Son, I've thought about this a lot and I think I'm going to have to go with Saka. So that takes me into my team for game week 10. You will see something petty on this slide. I will just, trigger warning, where I put my points and rankings. I normally just put some question marks, potentially millions of points is one that I do quite often. Overall rank this week, the only target is ahead of Ross. Ross and I been in a mini league together for the last season and this season. This season he was thrashing me, and then suddenly I came out of nowhere. I overtook him. Then Ross, I thought, was knee-jerking, taking out Haaland, going wild. I thought, Ross, what are you doing? And then he captained Salah 2 weeks in a row, and where he was about 30 points behind me, he's now 1 point ahead of me, and I'm so petty. If it was 10, 15, 20 points, I wouldn't mind as much, but 1 point is just really rubbing it in. So the plan this week is to hit 100 points, and Ross can have 87, but I need to get a kind of comfortable lead. So that's the goal for this game week. In goal, we are going for Areola, Everton at home. Hopefully there are clean sheets on the horizon. Then the defence, we are sticking with the same defence as last game week. We've got Burn, we've got Cash, we've got Destiny. I'm hoping to see some attacking returns from Cash this week, and Destiny to get more than 55 minutes, especially if Spurs are keeping a clean sheet, because it really rubs it in when your defender comes off early. Then the midfield, there he is. We've got Saka. I think this looks lovely. Maddison, Saka, Salah, Gordon. A good combination. Yes, we're missing Son, but hopefully Maddison will be able to make up for the lack of double Spurs attackers. And then Gordon, it would be great to see if he can carry on his run and get another goal. Salah, Forest at home. We'll come into captaincy actually in a separate section because there is a lot to unravel there. Then my front three, we're staying with Watkins, Solanke and Haaland. It's a no-brainer, Watkins and Haaland. Solanke, I got him specifically for last game week and this game week. They're playing Burnley at home. I can see Solanke scoring, hopefully, in that. So that would be great. If we can have a remake of last week where everyone managed to score or assist, I'd be very happy and my rank would be looking healthy. Then on the bench, I don't really care about much of it, but McGinn, Luton at home. It's a hard one because McGinn got an assist last game week, and there was a part of me that felt like let's have some chaos and transfer out Son for a really, really cheap midfielder that I don't mind benching so that I have an excuse to play McGinn, but I thought I'm probably putting far too much pressure on John's shoulders. So he is benched at the moment, but if he gets some sort of return against Luton and one of the midfielders blank, I will throw hands. I won't be very happy about it. But I think this is the sensible bench decision. I'm going head over heart on this one. Now, one of my concerns is the captaincy for this game week because I haven't got the best track record as it stands with captaincy. Now, my options are Saka, Salah, Watkins and Haaland. Whilst it would be fun to take a punt on Maddison or Gordon, not Solanke, I don't think I'm that brave. I think those four are the real standouts. If we start off with Saka, Arsenal are playing Sheffield United at home. Sheffield United are at the bottom of the league, so it's ideal for them. They've conceded 24 goals, which is the most in the league, and they've got the worst expected goals conceded at 20.6. Surely this has a Saka hat-trick written all over it. My fear is that the goals aren't going to come from Saka, and instead we're going to see Jesus getting up there, or we're going to have Martinelli. There are so many different attackers in Arsenal that frighten me, and if Saka starts handing out penalties, I will be fuming. But Saka seems like, on paper, a really, really good captaincy option, but I am nervous that for some reason he's not going to be the main man. But maybe I'm overthinking it. Then we've got Salah, the highest scoring player in the game now. He's had back-to-back braces. He's got the highest XG in the game of 6.63, 7 goals and 4 assists already, and it's clear that, well, he's just proving why he's been an FPL favourite for so many seasons. He's got Nottingham Forest at home, and I think this fixture is going to be interesting. I think people are going to underestimate Forest. Defensively, they have strengthened so much in comparison to last season. They rank 8th for the number of goals conceded with 12 in total, and they've got an expected goals conceded of 12.5. So it's nowhere near as bad as last season, where I think Liverpool would have just absolutely run amok in a home game against Forest. In fact, they probably did. I should really check the score from the last Forest home game. Actually, I'll do that now. Let's just take an intermission. I have done my research, so I knew that when Liverpool played Forest for a home game for Forest, they lost 1-0. But when Forest went over to Anfield, they lost 3-2. So there was a lot of goals in that game, and I really don't remember this very well, which is poor from me. But that's when Forest's defence was not quite up there. Whereas now, they've massively improved, and I don't know whether actually they're going to give Liverpool a bit of a run for their money. Then we've got Watkins. He is such a reliable player this season, and he's only blanked in 1 game so far. Currently, he's the highest scoring forward with 5 goals and 8 assists in total. I did not expect this by game week 10 from Ollie Watkins, but well done. He's got an XG of 3.89. And The Luton home fixture is very tempting for captaincy, but again, I don't know whether it might be that Watkins just assists a couple of goals. I would 100% take that for my captain. But what if Watkins doesn't? What if McGinn's suddenly, he got 1 assist last week, what if he goes wild with that and then he's just assisting Douglas Luiz? I'm nervous. We've seen his track record. He's scored in every home game so far. What if he takes that away for Ollie Watkins? That being said, Luton have conceded the 5th most goals in the league and also have the 5th worst expected goals conceded at 18.8, which is perfect for Villa. You can really see them going in and having a massive game. So Watkins is another one to consider. And then of course we have got Haaland, and I do need to be a bit nicer about Haaland. I'm giving him a very hard time this season, but it's just because he was mad last season and we want more of that back. But he's still the leading goal scorer this season with 9 goals in total. Salah is just behind with 7. If City can pick up momentum, this could be a good one. And we've seen Manchester United, they haven't been the strongest unit. I think it's fair to say so far this season. But it's an away fixture. Haaland doesn't really thrive in away games. Home is much more his area of expertise. So I don't know whether I'd risk the captaincy on an away game for Haaland. But again, he's going to be captained by so many managers. It's a lot to think about. So we've got Saka, Salah, Watkins or Haaland. Let me know down in the comments who you would captain out of those 4. Or if you'd go for another captain. I mean, you might go for a Solanke if you're feeling wild. But thank you so much for watching my video. This is my draft selection. Everything could change because I'm panicking mildly. I am doing the FPL Juice live stream on Friday, which you will be able to watch live on the FPL Juice YouTube channel. I'll link that in the description below. If you are around London and fancy seeing it live, there is a giveaway. There'll be drinks, there'll be food. It's being held at Greenwoods in Victoria, so do come along and say hello. I will be making some panicked live last minute transfers probably, and hopefully not being peer pressured into getting Luton players by Ash or handing my phone over to anyone where they will sabotage the team. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. You can keep up with how the team is getting on. Hopefully some more green arrows on the horizon, and I will see you in the next video.